if you've been following me for a while, you know I've been making titanium fidget spinners, like prototyping them and you know, doing some ones just for fun and doing others that, you know, that I've been developing. And this one here is the main one I've been developing. As you know and can see, it's a very crude prototype. It's titanium, it's polished, it wobbles like hell. The buttons are like crude machine screws. But I've spent dozens and dozens of hours, maybe even hundreds, I can't even remember, getting it to this stage, you know, the contours and things like that. And, you know, it's taken a long time. Like between me and my machinist and the other projects we're doing with titanium, you know, we got a kind of capacity problem right now, which is, you know, it's probably a good complaint, you know, like a sort of victim of your own success of sorts. But we can't, you know, we can't make this. We're so struggling to like catch up and get this made. It's going to be, you know, at least 2 weeks more until I can get the first sort of prototypes done, like the final prototypes. These are just sort of rough, crude, hand ground ones that I've done. Like I said, wobbly, etc., etc. However, someone emailed me today, and they said, I can't remember what it was, but like you got ripped off or you got copied or something. And sure enough, I went to a website and saw this. What's funny about that is it's the first time I've been copied before I've actually produced it myself. Like you know, I get stuff ripped off all the time. My hand key pocket clip, wherever it is my car that I keep my car keys on. Where are we? Here it is here. A bit dark over there. Better light here. So this clip here. This clip, it clips onto the edge of your pocket, and you know, holds your keys, suspends it so it doesn't scratch your phone or make a hole in it, so your keys don't make a hole in your pocket. Now, like that, I've had that one copied. I've had my titanium tweezers copied. What else? Like I'm forgetting. But here's the thing: the copy of this spinner, you see, this is titanium. That copy is, I think it's stainless steel or something. And so, what I find funny about these copies is they're really not copies. They're like poor man's versions of it. Like that hanky pocket clip I showed you, the copy of that, which you can buy like on various places like eBay, Amazon, stuff like that. Like it doesn't bother me in the slightest, because actually that's not true. It doesn't bother me from a business standpoint because the quality is so bad. Like I machine around the edge of the hanky, I bevel it, I tumble it, I give it, you know, an amazing finish. I make sure, you know, like the surface of the titanium sheets are flawless before I do any sort of cutting and grinding and stuff like that. With these copies, they're like, I've bought copies. I buy my own copies. The copies that people make of my products, I buy them to see how bad they are, and unfortunately they're really, really disappointing when I get them. Like they're not even good copies. They're just, like I said, a poor man's version. You know, the outside is very rough. You can see it in the photos of them. Like there's no machining, and that's why they can sell it for like a quarter of the price, because it's not like they're even putting in a quarter of the effort. They're putting in like a 10th or a 20th of the effort. Like the effort that goes into it is you know, in all the little details and getting stuff right from the start, and sourcing good materials, and you know, beveling and you know, surface finishing and stuff like that. And they just don't do that. They seem to just see me do well. It's usually, by the way, it's usually stuff I've done on Kickstarter, because you know, typically my Kickstarter projects are, you know, $100,000 plus sort of funding, ultimately sort of funding level. You know, they do pretty well, and so they see that and they go, oh, we can create the rough shape of that product and sell it, and you know, for cheaper, and you know, that's fine. But like I mentioned earlier, what bothers me is that people are buying that poor quality, you know, poor man's version. Like maybe it's the first time they've seen it. Maybe they see the pocket clip and they go, oh, that's awesome, and they buy it and it's not very good quality. But they've never seen my version. They've never seen like the Rolls Royce version of it, if that's not too presumptuous. So what's interesting about the spinner that's been copied is it's been copied from YouTube. YouTube's the only place I've really shown this. Usually I get copied from my Kickstarter projects because they see the success and they mimic it. But this is the first time it's been from YouTube, so obviously I must be somewhat successful on YouTube, which is kind of cool before they're copying it. But you know, I feel sorry for the people that buy it, because they buy it, it's not like, I just know from past experience with the other stuff I've got ripped off on, I just know it's not going to be the same. I mean, it's stainless steel for a start. You know, what's the bearing going to be? Is it going to be a decent Japanese or German bearing, or is it going to be a Chinese bearing? It's going to be a Chinese bearing. Right, I think I've gone on enough there. I will leave you with a quote. It is by Aristotle, and he said, "Quality is not an act, but a habit."